This is Unit 11, Lesson 9, and this is the writing lesson with some modification. I'm recording this, and the students have been notified of that and have chosen to either turn their video off or not. So the writing lesson in Unit 11 is to write a formal email. The book says specifically to an elected official to request a specific action. I'm modifying that. We are focusing on writing a formal email to request a specific action, but your email doesn't have to go to an elected official. It can go to someone that you work with. Maybe you're having a problem at work with one of your coworkers and you want to send an email to your supervisor. You can think of it in terms of an academic setting where maybe you're having a problem with a professor at a college or university. You don't understand homework. You don't understand the requirements of the course, so you're not doing well. So you want to present a problem and a solution. It might be an email that you send to someone at your apartment complex where you're having a problem with noisy neighbors, or maybe a lack of parking, maybe something that doesn't look beautiful, like the garbage is in a visible place, and you want to help your landlord solve that problem. And then of course it could be an elected official. It could be a city officer. Maybe you want to request that the high school gym could be opened up for adult exercise classes because the local YMCA is overcrowded. Or maybe you think that the parking on the streets, the requirement to move it during the snowy season is too difficult. And so you want to help solve a problem. But whatever your situation, it's okay. You're going to follow the same formula. And again, this is to write a formal email, and you're going to request a specific action. So basically, you're going to write an email and present your problem with a little bit of background information about the situation. You're going to present a solution or multiple solutions to that problem. And I'm going to come back to this one. You're going to also present the results or the effects of those solutions. And then you end your email with a paragraph of thanks. Now, going back to this solution, in American culture, if we have a problem at work or we have a problem at our college, we can really go to our supervisor or whoever it might be and say, hey, I have a problem with this situation or with this person or with something that's going on. And for me, as an example, if I had a problem with one of my colleagues, I could go to my boss. He's called a dean, or she's called a dean at the college. And I could say, so-and-so and I are having a problem. And it's not good for us to be assigned to work on the same project or on the same team. And the dean might say, okay, I understand. What do you think I should do? And so they're really asking for a solution. What are some ways that I could fix this problem? They don't just want me to come and complain. Okay. So we're going to look at the writing model on page 270. This is what you will model your email after. But just remember that a professional email or a formal email should always have a greeting, and that should be formal. Instead of hi or hello, it should be dear so-and-so, unless you're very familiar with that person. You're going to make sure that you request action. You're going to give backgrounds on the issue, reasons for the action. You're going to have a conclusion, a polite ending, a closing, and contact. I also want to point out that your subject line should tell the reader what they're going to read about. And so you don't want to add your problem to an existing email, but to start a new email with this new topic and make sure that subject line tells the reader what they're going to be reading about. Just this note from the organized section in your book, formal email structure and tone. Always remember that in the US, sending a formal email is important, and it's a way to participate, not only because we're not talking about an elected official, but it's a way to participate in your education, in your workplace, in your place of living, your community, or whatever the situation might be. There's the note about the subject line, and your request for action should be clear, okay? We want to use the first person, and that means pronouns such as I and we, but we still want to be formal. So avoiding, language that is overly emotional. And then we're going to end our email in a polite way, and we'll look at some ways to do that. So here are some quick tips. Use respectful greeting and closing. Include background information so they know what the situation is. Explain the problem clearly and concisely. We don't want to add unnecessary words. Again, we want to avoid anything that is just showing emotions or blaming other people. And then you should always suggest a specific solution. And I think here the key is specific, so that they know exactly what to do with that problem that you're presenting them, and then any action steps that you can think of. Okay, so now we're going to turn to page 270, and I will start a new video as we look at the formal email there, and there we will read like a writer so that we can write well, write like a reader.